the camera. Yeah,
Is
it's
this fine?
perfect. Yep, that's fine. That is fine.
Okay. Yeah. Now
Yeah,
it's good.
yeah, it's good. It's perfect. Thanks, sir. Sridevi, yeah, could you explain your roles and responsibilities, like what you have done the projects regarding the previous and current? Yep, just five
Yeah.
minutes.
Yeah. Okay. I had completed my master's in 2012. After that, I started working on offshore for frontiers and First Americans. Then on the onshore, I worked on Real Mud. Right now, I'm not in the current project, but I work as a manual tester in all the areas in the like a junior level. We are mostly like in the area of like uh, test cases. The test plans used to be given by the leads. We used to do the test designing and test executions and test disclosures. We work for the different kinds of like banking projects and on the medical projects. On these domains, I worked actually. We are around. I prepared so many test cases. Uh, like we are actively participated in preparing the execution and text cases, and in the area of like if it is necessary, like we used to for retesting after the developers, we used to work very close with the developers for knowing the requirements and the business requirements very well, so that we can prepare our test cases very efficiently. Of course, the test plan is given by our leads, like what to test and how to test and when to test and what kind of test we have to prepare. Regarding the business analysis and requirements, we used to prepare our test cases. And then we used to execute, and whatever the defects we used to get, like we used to track on it, we used to send to the developers for the retesting, and we used to give the closures and whatever the test results of it in like technically we used to be participated in that area in each scrum meetings, and in every sprint we used to be given like different kinds of tasks and like that. Regarding this, I have experience on preparing these, and we are very actively participated in doing like using the techniques like black box testing. We actually, the manual testers actually do mostly the black box testing. We are not mostly we are not interacted with unit and integration testing, where only the
Yep.
developers will be doing. In this case, the white box techniques, we are not, I'm not so um, involved in this white box testing, so mostly these are done by the developers, but we are mostly involved in only the system testing. Actually, I was involved mostly in the system testing. In the main part is like functional testing, the functional part of the applications. We are mostly involved in GUI testings, like graphical user interface, how the interface look like, the feel. I'm mostly involved in those testing areas, and the
Yeah.
main thing is the actual
Yes,
functional
Sridevi.
part of the
Yep, that's fine. That's
applications.
fine. That's fine.
Yeah.
Yeah, thanks for the roles and responsibilities. Your visa status, Sridevi. Like your visa
My
status.
H4 EAD.
H4
H4
EAD.
EAD.
May I know your years experience? How many years?
I have just 2 to 3 years, mostly 2 years. Right now, I'm not in the project.
Oh, right now you're not in the project.
No.
Yep.
Because like I was moved from to my family to be with the family. I want to search the jobs near Virginia, somewhere on Maryland, something like that, near to my
Mhm.
husband.
Okay, that's fine. Yeah, presently
I
you're
have
not. Yep.
a question, like position is about like it's any it's a junior level or something like different more than that, something like that.
Yeah, actually the client is looking for the manual tester, like as a
Okay.
six
Okay.
plus as a junior level. I think yeah, 6+ years of manual tester
Yeah,
experience
I guess
candidate.
it should be the junior level. Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
That's fine. Are you using any? What is your current role? Current project role?
Current project load, I'm just a manual tester at a junior level. That's what I'm saying. Yeah.
Hmm. Yep. In as a manual tester, you have the 6+ years experience.
Yeah.
Yep.
But at on-site, I have just 2 years, but in the off-site, I have the rest experience. Yeah.
Mhm. That's fine.
Okay.
Mm,
Mm-hmm. Come again?
yep. Like, do you know the test plan? What is the test plan? What do you mean by the
Test
test plan?
planning and all, actually, like test planning and all will be used to be done by our test leads and all. We are mostly interacted in the test designing, because like test planning, it's like a critical area where the business requirement, whole the business analysis will be analysis by the leads and all. They used to give the total test planning and all, and then we used to do the test cases which used to be approved by them, and then we used to be the execution. The test planning usually will be done by the test leads, but we are very little interacted with that to get some experience. We used to be asked to be involved, not very partially, in the test planning, actually. Yeah.
Okay. Yep. Do you know about the white box and the black box testing, right?
Yeah, yeah. White box testing is coming. It come under for the developers, because like they actually have to interact with the code which they have developed, like the loop structures, whatever the control statements. The major changes will be done. White box testing itself, like everything we have to know into the program, whatever the code is developed and all. So usually the this white box technique, they're gonna use it. Coming to the black box, we do only the black box technique. That is the system testing, the whole system testing. Yeah. I'm not involved in the white box testing. Sorry, sir.
Huh. Not an issue. You're not in on the white box testing. Yeah. Mm,
Mostly manual testers are not involved
okay.
in the white box testing, because like we have to interact with the code, actually, like what kind of code they develop. For example, like the loop structures and the control statements, on that they will involve and they'll change the code. Generally they have to make some changes in the code, actually. They test within their area, so the unit testing and integration testing, they use the white box technique in that area, actually. So they will be involved mostly in that, sir.
Okay. Yeah. Sridevi, how can
Yes.
you eliminate the product risk in your project?
Eliminate the product risk means like giving a quality control product to the business requirements. Finally, the main thing, like we eliminate the product risk, only thing, it shouldn't be the failure. We should have the proper communication and the business, and whatever the requirements frequently could be changed, we should be aware of that. And the other thing is like, the product risk will be coming only because the lack of communication with the client and uh, the development team, actually.
Mhm. Yep. What are the steps you would follow once you found a defect?
Defect, once, like after we test our test cases, after we find the defect, first of all, like we make a summary, like defect ID, defect um, description, and and what where the it is different, the actual result and expected result. We make a deep disclosure and the summary of it, and we're gonna send to the developer. This is a format, this is a closure we have to give to the developer. For example, like if it is a username, mostly like banking applications I was used to write in that. For example, the username and the password. If something affects on the username, like if I enter, if they will be giving, like generally we use like boundary value, take boundary value analysis, and like for example, like for the value and length, we use like boundary value analysis and ECP techniques. In that case, for example, like if it is not accepting, username is not accepting, we generally prepare the positive data and negative data. We test all the possible coverage cases, but still it is, if it is throwing some error to us, um, we are making the complete description of the defect, so that the developer can understand where actually the problem is. In that way, we're going to make a defect summary and ID and everything, and we're going to give it to the developer, and
Okay.
developer going to take.
Yeah. Do you know about the pilot and beta testing? The
Yeah,
both.
alpha and beta testing, it come under, like when coming to alpha test, we keep the dummy data, and coming to beta test, we keep the real data. This is nothing but the user acceptance is this. It's come under after the UIT, after the system testing. After the system is completely tested, then we will take this environment like replica to the that like general environment that every user gonna face it in the production. Actually, when it's in real usage, we're gonna create that environment that is called as user acceptance testing area. there we're gonna follow the alpha and beta testing.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yes, Devi. Are you working in the current project now?
No, you're asking the same question.
Yeah.
Second time I'm working in the current project.
No.
Actually, I said you like I want to take a gap. The first thing is like, first of all, we are the project is already done. It's a contract for if the contract is under. The other thing is like I want to be with my family and I want to go to the job. Something
Yep.
like that.
I understood.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Yeah.
Do you have any experience regarding the software testing?
Software testing. Coming to the manual testing, we test like software until it is like we test usually software to make it like bug free and all. We do software testing, and that the software testing is nothing but the application testing, right? The total testing, we do that application testing. Application is again a software, right? Yeah, so web application or whatever it is.
Yep.
Yeah, but
Yeah.
not any product. We didn't test any product, but mostly coming to the business, and we do like I was doing banking, and I was in real med. It is like medical. These are like applications. Yeah,
Yeah. Do you have
I
any
think you're
idea?
asking something product, right?
No. Yeah. It's a product. Yeah. Like, do you have any idea about the RAD?
RAD.
Yep.
Hmm. No, I want the full form. Can you give me?
Yeah. Rapid application development.
What? Come again?
Rapid application development. RAD.
No, no, no.
No.
I'm not.
Huh.
I'm not sure.
Yeah. In mobile application testing, what does it include? Could you explain some briefly?
Mobile application testing.
Yep.
Generally, like mostly we are involved in you the how the look and feel the user and the GUI testing mostly, and the other thing is like in the mobile testing we're gonna test about like mostly and the functionality of the testing. The functional testing will come here regarding the business requirements, what kind of requirements and how the product want to be launched, like there we gonna work on those business requirements mostly in any testing, especially in mobile testing too. In mobile testing the main thing is like how it look, how it feel, like it come under the GUI and all. And the other testing we have to do it like it's like coming like input domain test we have to do, and the object properties, that how the we have different kinds of objects coming to the mobile testing, and how the properties, the tabs and all, how the internal the properties of these each objects, how does it work and all. And for example, in some case it should be enable, and some case it should be disable, and in some case the text and focus should be in a proper way. So we're gonna test all in these areas, but mostly, to be frank, like I was mostly involved in business, uh, business and the commerce applications and like banking applications. But mobile testing, I'm not so familiar with that. But in when I'm doing my project, partially I was involved in other project. By that I came to know this knowledge. To be frank.
Yep. Sridevi, could you tell me how to get a maximum productivity to form an offshore team? Yep. Like there is the keys to make you sure that testers how to get a maximum productivity from offshore team.
Mm-hmm. Generally, the first thing I believe, like we should have a proper communication with the offshore team, and the next thing is like we usually follow the agile system, like and next like generally and we get the whole business requirements. First of all, the each task will be for the different people. The proper human resourcing for each level we have to keep. That's I believe we believe in that actually. For example, like coming to the test planning and all, we're gonna give to the leads, and coming to the test execution actually, like we're designing actually after the test plan. In these case, we have to keep some more human resources process for these tests designing and all like that. We have to divide first of all each and every task for the human resources, and we follow, not I follow, everyone generally we follow like all the two projects which I had handled is agile, like giving whole the each task for the each people, and after each and every after the leads has given the test planning, the test engineers are what we are like creating the test designs and all, test cases and all, and giving the closure report. Again, we have to give to our test managers, like test managers, test leads, and test engineers, like total this in should be proper way. And the other thing is like all these testers have to be have a proper communication with the developers, because the where we get actual build, right, the developers have to give the build for each and every sprints. So the final productivity will be eventually good if everything is good, like communication with and total this developers and testers of offshore have proper communication with onshore, and obviously the offshore team will get the proper productivity. Yeah.
Yeah, that's fine, Sridevi. Okay, thank you. Yep, your current location, Sridevi?
Virginia, Richmond.
Yeah, that's fine.
This is at Maryland, right?
Yep,
Maryland, right?
yeah, Gilbert submitted for your Town,
Yeah,
Maryland.
yeah.
Okay,
Maryland, Georgetown, something.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah, Germantown, Maryland.
Germantown. Yeah, I'm not used to these names. Yeah.
Yeah, okay, Sridevi. Yeah, thank you for your time. Okay, yeah, recruiter Gilbert will touch with you regarding interview time slot. Okay.
Yeah. Have a good day. Thank
Yep,
you. Bye bye.
thank you. You too. Bye.
Bye bye.
Bro.